Hey, happy Coffee Talk Monday. This is Dr. Michelle coming at you. Thanks for joining me for another Monday. I appreciate you being here. I hope that if you're celebrating holidays, that you're enjoying your holidays and being safe. It has been a 2020, hasn't it? In so many ways. For some of us, culturally, economically, politically, in a lot of ways. I'm not going to list them all off because there's a lot of ways. So today I want to talk about how do we bring in the new year in a good way? Because I think there will still probably be some challenges, but there are some things that we have control over and ways that we can set ourselves up for success that I think will be really helpful for 2021. Yay, 2021. You've probably heard me talk about New Year's resolutions in the past, because when I talk about goal setting, I usually use that as an example. So I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I do want to say that New Year's resolutions don't typically work. Why? Well, because so many years we set these global intentions for the year, and they're too big, they're overwhelming, they become frustrating because we're not sure how to do it, how to make it happen, how to reach those intentions. When I worked in health and fitness, every year, the same thing. January, membership would skyrocket. February, we have good intentions. We really do want to be healthy, lose weight, eat better, as well as other things. But we often set ourselves up for failure because we don't do two things really. We don't reflect on what is happening so that we can change what is happening and move in a different direction if we need to. And we think about things in big pieces, global, like, ooh, I want to do this year. But again, if you don't have a way to make those things happen, then you might start off strong, but then you're like, ooh, well, I don't know how to do that. Big piece of this is really thinking about this differently. I sat down and started to think about my 2020 and reflecting on that, which I think is really important, to be able to sit and think about what has happened or what is, and not necessarily over a whole year. I think if you can get in the habit of reflecting more frequently, then, you can make changes and adjustments more frequently, right? The second thing is being able to break things down. And the example I often use is losing weight. If you say, oh, I want to lose 50 pounds, and every day you've gotten up and you haven't lost 50 pounds, then you feel like you failed, which, really? So you have to think about, what are the things that I need to do to lose those 50 pounds in order to make it happen, right? Doesn't that make sense? So you're sort of chipping away at it a little bit at a time. Chipping away at everything a little bit at a time. Losing weight, eating better, drinking water is another common one. Making more money, being better in your business life, being more spiritual, more, whatever. All of these things don't just happen. They don't just happen. And you're not a failure if tomorrow you haven't done those things, or a week from now you haven't done those things. Now, here's another part of the equation that's really important, is that when you start on this journey, right, and you start to work on these small steps of these big pieces of things, you might not see change right away. And that can feel yucky, right? So again, this is one of the reasons why in fitness, when you work at a gym, you see all these people coming to the gym, January, crazy memberships, crazy. And then by February, they're like, no, I don't feel any healthier. And I haven't lost any weight. Well, you know, and, you know, obviously there's a continuum in there, right? But January 7th, right, if you don't feel healthier for some reason, or you haven't lost any weight, why is that, right? Sort of adjusting as you sort of move along, and also being able to be a little bit more resilient and have some tenacity. Ooh, I love that word. What do I have to do different? What do I have to change? And recognizing that it doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen in a day. It doesn't happen in a week. It's a process, and it takes time. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. So, what are the steps? The steps are being more self-reflective on a daily basis, thinking about your larger goals and what are the steps that are going to help me reach those larger goals? What are the things that I can work on a daily basis that are going to help get me there? Recognizing that, unfortunately, instant gratification is not something that you should hinge your happiness and enjoyment on and feelings of success on. Recognizing that this is a process and that the process takes time and continued reflection and change and adjustment and flexibility. Oof, all the things we hate as human beings. I've already started that process. I have some interesting goals for 2021, and I have the big goals, and I started to chip away at writing down some of the smaller goals, but I need to do a little bit more work on that. And I have far too many things right now, so that's the other thing. Don't have too many things that you're working on. You can't work on everything. All right. Last thing I want to talk about today. I was reminded by a friend that there is a really good book. It's an older book. The Artist's Way. Have you heard about it? By Julia Cameron. I've done it several times, and it really is good. And it pushes you outside your comfort zone for sure. But if you don't have the book, maybe get it, check it out, see what you think, go through it. Definitely, again, will push you outside of your comfort zone. There's a thing called morning pages where you get up and write every morning, and initially it's like, but then you go, wow, that was really powerful. And the reading is powerful, and the exercises are powerful. And I know it says for higher creativity, but it does that and so much more. My recommendation for you would be try to do something different at the start of 2021. Try to think about it different. Even if you take one of the things that I said and try it. Happy New Year. And I wish health and happiness for you and your family in 2021. If you have questions or comments or want to talk about how to start your new year off in a different way, reach out and let me know. I'll see you next Monday.